Fast forward, you didn't come over channel is social as one say how say I FunnTV GH podcast also trying to make headlines. And a German na you be Akroma. I need to be on cross and the AD can. Let's just say which must subscribe to the channel. But when you also which my hit on notification bell, share now for us and say into and can be na yambo in writing seven CCA yen sembre. Na a ye Ghana Freedom Party the late Donkor Edda Omo Enim our the flag bearer. Nyame emfa okra insi bibia wo bia. Na me no ka say free mo no na nhihye a say yisi eye na say ebia ye be different balloting. And now say be bitimi a maintain no ewo ye can say ballot paper no so no. Na ya gather intelligence bia eno ye de exum ye na duye. Na yenya na ntie say eye NPP painful be etimi abawra eye Akua Donkor party in painful office onu mu edin kumo echo mo say at this point in time no dey ehu hia say mbesi sika say mo de kwako ye campaign and as mo koyi ni pafofo bi amana ba be di party ni nti nkebe ya nka mo ni easy enkasa say mo twem ho afri eye this election mo let's going forward no na mbetimi akobi amana ba bisimu na mu a na anka aboa na ne nyina no say eye ballot paper number no NDC for whom say omu destiny eye number 8 no ena omu pe ekwan bia so na omu eyi eye John Dramani Mahama from number 8 position to number 7 position. Now me more room fee say emre bi etwa mu ni chairman wutumi etra the TV station so a kind of playing say obetre eye Reverend Owusu say to me be echi to me be kwanya obefa so a obesesa eye omu position no obefa so one ebem enkomodie ekoso enya asemkutoa na chief director for IT eye chief Tanko NDC edina no ato asem bia imubia ehubehia say ese bowro na fe na yehwe ne yeko ene die ba cheno so am say ha say eye FunnTV GH.
The National Democratic Congress. Thank you very much for your time. Good morning to you.
Good morning, my brother.
I hope you're well.
Terrific.
Well, what's the NDC's view on the EC's move in the wake of the death of Madame Akua Donkor?
Well, the EC is up again with their sinister agenda, and then in concert with the NPP. We saw this coming. Nonsense. As soon as we finish the balloting of positions at the Electoral Commission, within some few days, when the number 8 started catching up with people and all that, we started hearing snippets of information that they were trying to get their comrades, the NPP. They have comrades among the presidential candidates to back out so that they can change our position on the ballot. All this information was just flying around. And we're monitoring, our intelligence was on it. We thought it was just one of the stories. Little did we know that there was something like that, planning that one of the candidates would get out of the race, and then that would distort the ballot positioning. And you see that the convention, if a candidate back out before the printing of notice of poll or ballot printing, then it can automatically distort the positioning. But if the candidate backs out after the notice of poll and printing of ballot papers and back out, or something happens, such positions will not be distorted again. Having realized this, they tried all means and it wasn't working. Then somewhere along the line, Akua Donkor passed. Then quickly yesterday, it's so interesting. I was at the Electoral Commission to sign off the statement of poll. That is the pink sheet that they are going to print, because we took a decision this year that we're not going to allow them to just send their items to the printing house for them to print, unless we, the leadership of political parties, will come and sign off. So yesterday was the time for the pink sheet, because you remember what they did for the 2020, printed very bad pink sheet and used it to rig the election. So our eye was on that. Then we realized that Akua secretary and the daughter also came in there and sat through. I was this is interesting. Somebody who died less than 10 hours ago, and the party people are here. What are they doing? What are they doing over there?
They were at the meeting.
They were at the meeting where we were going to do the sign off of the thing sheet. And they came and sat. Because that was the first time, because when we signed the ballot papers the other time, they never came. When we signed the presidential ballot notice, they didn't appear. The parliamentary, they didn't appear. Yesterday was for the pink sheet, and they arrived. And they came in the company of their surrogates. Of course, you know them. Then they sat, and we did all the signing. In the midst of the signing, a call came through. And I picked the call. It was one of my agents at the printing house that they have been instructed to stop printing of the ballot papers, presidential ballot papers. And I said, who gave the instruction? That electoral commission staff came and told them. So I asked the officer who was there presiding over our meeting, but you people, what kind of instruction have you given to the printing houses to stop the print of the ballot papers? And he said he was saying he himself don't have information about it. So he'll find out. He tried making some calls up there. Nobody was responding. So everybody was shocked at the table. But I realized that the Donkor people and their surrogate, the NPP, knew what was going on. So I told him that look, we are not going to accept this. This thing that is going on. We have no basis to give fiat that people should stop printing the ballot papers. On what basis? We are leadership here. And if anything, you should let us know. So once we were there, not that they were preparing a letter to give to Donkor people to go and then and do this thing that they have posted out there. So shortly after the meeting, we knew that they're after something. Then we realized that it's a scheme, a well-calculated scheme, to just make.
Fast forward, you need to come up with a channel. So she say, "How say?" A FunnTV GH political stories a friend make wish making headlines. Any jumbo na EDB exum e wa say any dem young box him say any AD kanya must show bit subscribe to the channel. Share now for answer into NPP virtual. Mami hu ye by giving me your comment under the comment section. Now Ghana Freedom Party if you don't call or free. Now free no I say easy ayensa cry or train 10 good days ama omu aksamete omu different person obi si omanim enemu abeka pardon say ono enema the flag bearer ema party na the woman say NDC party no and so agada intelligence enya asem koto akra na aye Dr. Omane Boama of NDC actually say nkomodie bi a ekoso ewo NDC any Ghana Freedom Party omuntemu omate and wasan dragi is abem now you can you say what's easy say enkomana mu sheku komo mu di nyina no umde omatio omate na John Dramani Muhammad die ni number 8 ni die under no circumstances and amada musabe de beka no kwi aso is either say obey automatic balloting and now say yumra odie Dr. Omane Boama asweye mame semre na nyintie ni nsem no de ko ene de ba se de be ya won so obetimi enyan chese ye bra she no so am say aksi e FunnTV that's yam show on your pc say waje dem da wa say yamon rain sim at this point in time
sure that the NDC is moved from its position as was stated in a video that is circulating around. I'm sure you've gotten hold of the video where Buntumi, Asante Regional Chairman, is boasting that he has the capacity to change the NDC position from the number 8, either number 7 or number 6. Boasting, it's all over there. That is what they are working up to. that they have given them. Look, let me give you something. If you check Regulation 17 of CI 127, 17.4, about death of a candidate, the CI, yes, and I'm so happy they made it very clear in their statement. The letter commission, you see, they should be charitable to Ghanaians with this kind of thing they are doing. They made it very clear. There is a lacuna in the CI. It has not talked about presidential death. It only talks about a candidate in a constituency. The framers of our constitution foresaw this long since, that there will be a time that you might have this problem. If you print ballot papers throughout the country and you are ready to go, then a candidate dies, and you are now coming to bring a new candidate, that means you are going to start all over the process again. The financial burden on the country will be too much. So they were silent on the issue of that, but they were specific on the parliamentary, because a parliamentary is just a constituency. And so the loss in a constituency will not be so huge to a loss of the whole country. Here you are talking about 18.7 million ballot papers that you have printed. But in the constituency, you might not get up to more than 100,000. Maybe the highest could be 150,000 or 200,000. That can be managed. So if you look at the CI specifically, it's referring to a death of a candidate in a constituency. Now you go and then take Article 50. Presumably they want to say the Constitution is supreme, and then you are referring to Article 54. And that Article 54, then if we are going to go by that tangent, the Electoral Commission has no power to interpret it. That is what they are. That is the kind of absurdity they are moving into. Look at that, their last statement. They just quoted it and left it that way. What is it? What are they talking about? If you go and take NDC law 284, you will see items concerning parliamentary election, and that is where the CI is emanates from. NDC law 284. I want readers to go and look at it. Specifically, it mentioned about the death of a candidate. But if you take NDC law 285, it talks about presidential, the conduct of presidential elections, nominations and all that. Silence about death of a candidate. There's no mention of a death of a candidate. And so, well intentioned, if you want them to replace their candidate, we have no problems about that. We have no problem. If they replace their candidate, we still maintain our position. We have no issues. If they don't replace their candidate and they come back, of which that is what they are trying to do, to say we can't get a candidate, so therefore we are withdrawing, then Electoral Commission should prepare to have a re-balloting. We are not going to allow any automatic rearrangement of the ballots. We will go to a full-fledged re-balloting, and then we all decide our fate again. If that is what they are looking for, then we are ready for it. But if they think that they are coming to use this mechanism within the shortest possible time, the Donkor people will run back to them and tell them that we cannot get a candidate, therefore we are withdrawing, so that it will allow them to rearrange the ballot. We will not agree. We are giving them, in fact, and I'm so happy when my boss issued that statement yesterday on his timeline, that look, we are not going to accept any automatic rearrangement. It won't happen.
Because already we see the circulation on social media, a rearranged ballot paper.
It is coming from Tractor House. It's the NPP people who are doing it. As soon as the woman that they started doing all this, even before the EC came out with their statement, I said this is what they are planning to do. It's not that they asked them to go and bring a candidate. They are not bringing any candidate. This is what they intend doing, and that is why we have pointed it out to them, and we are standing by our ground that no rearrangement, automatic rearrangement. If you want, you can leave. If they are not going to contest again, leave it as it is. Look, in fact, by convention, anytime a candidate withdraw before the ballot papers after the ballot papers are printed, they leave the candidate picture on the ballot paper, and then they educate the general public that look, so and so is no more contesting. So if you go and thumbprint on such a person, it becomes a rejected ballot. So to even save it, they give ball print to the presiding officers so that they will cancel the portion of such a candidate. So if they want, if Donkor people come back to tell them that they are not contesting again, the ballots have been printed, the effigies will continue to be there. On the election day, the ballot issuer will take a ball pen and cancel Donkor face on the ballot before you issue it to a voter, so that the voter knows that this candidate doesn't exist again on the ballot. They won't complain on it. That is the shortest way. It's a simple process. But if they think the Donkor people will come and tell them that we are not contesting again, so we are going to remove it and rearrange, we are not accepting it today, we are not accepting it tomorrow. If they want that kind of thing, then we'll go for a full-blown reballoting again.
You seem so happy with number 8. Does pushing you back to number 7 not bring you closer to the top and much more visible?
Brother, our destiny at the point of picking the ball during the balloting was clearly stated by the General Secretary and my boss, Dr. Obama. That is our destiny. We picked it. Nobody should come and be changing our destiny. We'll accept it.
Doc, thank you. Thank you. That's so clear. Thank you very much for speaking to us.
I'm grateful.
So that's Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer. Clearly, what he's suggesting is that, one, the best way to resolve this is how it has always been resolved. In fact, I'll call in the US elections, at some point, was it in the race, I think it was in the Democrat race, all of the candidates withdrew. Even the only candidate was left. But when the ballot paper was printed, the ballot paper had already been printed, so the candidate was still on it. In fact, his votes were counted, that he got this number of votes there. So people were still voting for the candidate who had already withdrawn. So it happened. So he's saying that the best way to deal with this, keep her on the ballot paper. Let's move on. Just indicate to people. So, but if they come back and they say they will have a new candidate and you can afford it, no problem. Put that new candidate there and do the print over again. We don't have a problem. But you will not just wake up in the morning and decide that we are pushing you to number 7. Yes.
So Dr. Omani Boama yesterday posted the Electoral Commission press statement and wrote, in fact, he tagged the Electoral Commission and said, we shall not accept automatic rearrangement of positions on the ballot. Just note it and keep it holy. So that was what he posted. When you are done with lawyer, I'll read to you a write-up from lawyer Kukwazan.
Well, let's speak to lawyer Godide Dujukujo Tabakolo. In fact, the EC says he has had
to